Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's the Summit 3 America Qualifiers, Phase 2. We have made it to the winner bracket final and the final game of this best of 3. Who'da thunk? Evil Geniuses taking on NoT today. The winner of this match secures a spot here at the Summit House for the LAN final. The loser has to be knocked down into the lower bracket to duke it out between them and Complexity for the final spot. And I'm sure neither of these teams want to have to go through that gauntlet, so we'll have to find out exactly who's going to be doing what as I, KotLGuy, bring you the coverage. And I'm going to be back once again here from Maut, joining me remotely. Maut, this has suddenly turned into quite the hype series. People anticipated a stomp, but here we are, Maut. Game 3. Game 3 hype.
Yeah, I was looking that way after the first game, especially. Evil Geniuses taking it to NoT today, and they did so in styling fashion. The only real hero that was an issue for Evil Geniuses in that first game was Ifrit on the sniper. Now the second game, what was one of the clowniest drafts, there's a lot of clown shoes in that series, in that game, turns into an excellent game from NoT today. Initiation left and right. The potential was there. They had a line with a blink. They had Morphling initiation. They had Axe, they had Magnus, they had everything that you could want for a team fight, and then they had the damage from Van. And then all of a sudden, Smash comes in, 4-man RP to end the game in styling fashion. Now, Evil Geniuses, they're going to go and grab the Zeus here for Sumail, who played it pretty much unstoppably in that first game. And then Earthshaker's grabbed it for NoT today, probably in the support. And we'll see how this draft turns out. But, Kyle, I'm super excited for the end of this series, this last game coming in.
This is crazy here. So, Evil Geniuses going back to maybe what works or whatever, giving Sumail now the Zeus. That prompts NoT today to respond by a pickup from a Shadow Fiend. So, the Smash Shadow Fiend will grace his presence once more here. I also like the early respectable ban on Morphling. Let's just get rid of him. We don't want either team to benefit from this ridiculous stun. So they're just going to eliminate him from the picture. Of course, also got to get rid of that Aoi Chen. No surprise there. No Troll, no Batrider from Evil Geniuses. Does still leave a couple of options out there. Axe, Jug, other top pickups. And, well, we already talked about in the first game, Sumail probably pretty comfortable being a Zeus in a matchup against Shadow Fiend. Probably looking to balance it out here, get a support, you know, whether it be for PPD or not. Maybe looking to do the same like we saw in the first game where you kind of linger around the mid lane, help him secure a good early start with the first wave or two, and try to just use that power curve from there. But their second pickup, it's going to be the Clockwork, so a Universe Clockwork here. We know what this man can do with this machine. It gets pretty ridiculous.
And this is one of my favorite heroes currently in this metagame, and I think it's a lot stronger than a lot of people give credit for. I think Clockwork is right now one of the best heroes in the game. He has certain matchups that aren't really favorable. Against a Troll, against an Axe, it can be kind of rough. You don't really want to get cogged up in there with those two heroes. It's not necessarily the most fun thing in the world, but he's still really solid in getting team fights going, hooking across the map, kind of just engaging and having your team there with you. And it's really useful because you have a Zeus to help out as well. So the global presence, Clockwork can get solo kills with the help of Thunder God's Wrath. And now kind of just is, all right, well, if you're not today, you can't really go for Ifrit Sniper anymore, which they did in the first game. They had a Shadow Fiend and a Sniper. That's not the case. I'd be very surprised to see if they pick that hero up because Sniper into a Clockwork is really kind of rough. So you have to play a bit more cautiously. You have to draft a bit more cautiously around the Clockwork now that it's grabbed for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, maybe look to find a way you can punish someone like a Clockwork when he tries to make those early initiations. So we'll have to see. Skywrath seems to be a potent option here if NoT today want to round out their support duo with that. Good silence against the Zeus, and if Clockwork is to jump in and lay down those cogs, it sets up for an easy Mystic Flare target, though Clockwork could always get into a Blade Mail, I suppose. Targeted bans to come out from EG as they're going to be removing the Vengeful Spirit and now the Lion here. Earlier, NoT today, getting rid of the Greedy Jungle Enigma ban here. So we haven't gotten to see any jungle action here between these two, and it looks like we're not going to get it here, Maut, unless we do see an Enchantress picked up. But pretty standard stuff to lead things in. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, normally when EG pick up the Zeus, they like to go something with that Night Stalker, something that can really control the map and utilize Zeus with his global presence, but, you know, already committing to this Clockwork grab, doesn't seem like they're going to be going down that road. So I'm curious to see, Maut, what Evil Geniuses is going to be looking to do here to really, I don't know, take it to NoT today. Maybe feeling like Game 2 was a fluke and they want to put on a good old stomp in here. It is just as much pressure, though, on NoT today to really perform here. And in fact, they're going to be banning out this Sniper, interestingly enough. Skywrath is going to be the pick. All right.
Evil geniuses.
Solid support. Hero that works really well with the Earthshaker. We saw what you could do with an Earthshaker Skywrath combo, but that was an offlane Earthshaker last game for Universe. But it's still such a solid combo. You have Arcane Bolt, Ancient Seal, the Fissure, and then the Mystic Flare on top of the Fissure. And Evil Geniuses, it's almost like comfort heroes for them. Zeus for Sumail, Clockwork for Universe, and then Juggernaut for Fear. Like, this is like a draft that we would see from them, you know, DAC, post-DAC. But it's not something we see them do too often. They're kind of still experimenting a bit, but now that it's kind of all on the line, it's not a big surprise they go for these heroes. Plus, they're really good against the heroes that are on the side of NoT today, so it's not a big surprise they pick up the squad that they have now.
Yeah. So all we really need is like what, the PPD tree, and who's left? Owie. I mean, his jungle heroes have been banned out, but he's also been known to pick up something like an Ogre Magi from time to time, and well, we'll have to see how they make use of it. But the next pickup here is going to be for NoT today. Sports lounge out. They need their probably their Ifrit grab here, and then something to get in the off lane. Possible off lane matchups that are still out there. Tidehunter, but no one really cares about Tidehunter anymore.
Axe is still available, I believe.
Yeah, Axe also. That is interesting. Been ignored up to this point. Axe, I guess, can run into a little bit of an awkward setup going against someone like a Clockwork who can easily just kind of bump him back in a way. But is an Axe really... Axe could be a little too tasty to pass up here. We'll see if it's something they go for.
It is, because it's, again, you could just... Well, I mean, there's the Broodmother, too. That was another option that I was going to talk about. But you could just go to the jungle with an Axe and you'd be fine. But they want the Brood instead. And they get it with the 4th pick, so there's still time for Evil Geniuses to figure out if they want something particular against the Broodmother. But it's so tough to play around this hero. You have to... And it's not a surprise that NoT today bring it out.
Oh,
I mean, Broodmother in the last game, yeah. Well, there's also the Storm for Evil Geniuses now, and this is looking more and more like a Zeus support than it is a Sumail Zeus.
Yeah, they lead in with the Zeus, tantalizing NoT today that maybe this could be the mid lane matchup. Maybe once Evil Geniuses recognize that both of the supports have been picked up for NoT today, that being the Earthshaker and the Skywrath Mage, who can do pretty good against, Storm Spirit. I think we saw the same matchup, maybe game 1, but you got to consider, or not maybe not game 1 of this series. In last series we saw, you got to consider getting like a BKB on your Storm just to have to deal with it. But maybe they were anticipating NoT today could have gone for a Silencer if the Storm Spirit was picked up earlier, so once they see the supports there, they don't have to worry too much about it. But yeah, I was gonna say the one of the time I really saw Broodmother get her ass beat was a Zeus Spirit Breaker matchup, just because you get that bit of global flare, you throw out the Thunder God's Wrath, you follow it up with a Spirit Breaker charge, and there's nowhere the spider can go. It is a plausible option here for Evil Geniuses, but now that they see this Brood, they definitely have some room to work with. Now that they kind of change up the lanes here a bit, and how they can really repel this insect problem they got.
I agree with you on the fact that Zeus Spirit Breaker could work, but as a dual support, it's kind of rough. Maybe they go for something a little bit more common as a support pickup. They certainly could go Zeus Spirit Breaker. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's just Zeus with anybody is really nice because of the Thunder God's Wrath, and then you just follow up with like a Hex or something, or anything really. Although Lion is banned out, so they can't grab him. Venge is not there as well, so Evil Genius is going to have to think hard about their last support. Not today. They need the Ifrit hero more than likely, as Van will probably be in the offlane as the Broodmother. But there's a lot of options here.
The Ifrit option, huh? We'll have to see here. Really something to have an answer. Can always go Core Silencer. I mean, why not, right? Do the old Slasher's Way if you'd like. And you really want to be able to punish something like a Storm Spirit and a Zeus from getting a whole lot off, but more often than not, could run into a bit of trouble with your Jug kind of getting in your face here. So we'll have to see. I mean, they could also change it up, throw Ifrit into Shadow Fiend, and we could see a good old classic Smash Ember Spirit for all we know. We'll have to see. On the other side, Evil Geniuses, yeah, it's true. They can just go with the Bristleback. Okay. Interesting. A safe lane farming Bristleback, it looks like here.
Yeah.
Okay.
More than likely.
It works good. Minus armor synergy between him and the Shadow Fiend. They have a good Roche lineup to work with now. And they do have that brute force badass frontliner here now. And it's not easy for someone even like a Storm Spirit to kind of have his way with like a Bristleback. So could prove to be a bit difficult for them. I'm now very curious to see what Evil Geniuses are going to do. If they put a lot into making sure they can get another support who has a lot of disable, I was going to say the Shadow Shaman, but a Shadow Demon is going to be what's picked up here. PPD promptly grabs it. I guess putting a bit more into the Purge. It's very good at being able to zone back early on. And I guess the Shadow Poison could work pretty nicely against Brood in her little army.
Yeah, you're gonna have to level that up though pretty early on after he gets like Soul Catcher and at one point into his disruption. It's not a hero we see every day. Shadow Demon is certainly not a hero that is too common, but Soul Catcher is going to be very good for blowing up a lot of these heroes. Bristleback is not going to be nearly as tanky anymore with that Soul Catcher on him, and then you just bring him down with like Lightning Bolt and Fear jumping in. But they can't really, like, in terms of the laning phase, they can't really, like, they can't slow anybody down. They can't really bring down the Bristleback unless it's super early and he doesn't have that 2 points into Bristleback yet. I think that this is a solid choice because later on down the road, Demonic Purge becomes very viable. And I think it's a good hero. I just don't see a lot of Shadow Demon play, specifically for Evil Geniuses. And it's kind of a weird pickup, especially when this is the last game on the line here. I mean, at least for this best of 3 particularly, just to see who goes on further. This is not an easy lineup to play against. This is not today are looking to just run at you kind of with 4 heroes, then have the Broodmother split push or do whatever it is that Ifrit is going to be doing and go from there. So this is not going to be an easy team fight kind of game for Evil Geniuses. This is going to be kind of long-winded, I feel.
Well, we'll have to see. It's definitely going to come down to the wire here between both sides. A lot on the line here as the winner gets the easy, secure trip to the LAN final. The loser has to battle their way through the lower bracket in complexity if they want to secure that second spot. We'll lead things off for your third game matchup. Not today is going to be your Dire side lineup. We got Mystical, their captain. He's going to be playing your Earth Shaker. Smash, me Pastor. Unbelievable reverse polarity there in the last game. He's going to be playing your Shadow Fiend. Stinger, who's going to be playing your Skywrath Mage. Nearby, we got Van, who's going to be playing your Bristleback. And last but not least, we got Ifrit, who's going to be playing your pesky little Broodmother.
For your North American squad, the boys in blue for Evil Geniuses, Fear is going to be on the Juggernaut down here towards that bottom rune with B Rabbit. Good old Eminem, Sumail playing the Storm Spirit, his favorite hero, one of his favorite heroes, probably his favorite. AUI 2000 on the Zeus, PPD on the Shadow Demon. Definitely an unsuspected hero. And meanwhile, top lane, it is going to be Universe on the Clockwork. And they'll try to contest bottom rune spot. I don't think that, yeah, they because there is that presence of a Zeus, you can't really try to contest the rune if you're Ifrit. But Ifrit actually rotates all the way to the top lane. He was bottom for a period of time, and now it's looking like not today are going for an aggro tri-lane. This could be a bit dangerous. This is going to be tough to fight into, but I like the idea from not today.
Yeah, this helps out the Brood a lot. She only really has to deal with the Clockwork. There's not going to be much that can stop her from blitzing forward and getting that early Soul Ring in level 3. And that's when you see those Broodmothers really begin to thrive. But this is going to be a tough test here, as it's an interesting aggro setup and a try-on-try here in your bottom lane. And already you can see Van just trying to assert his early dominance here as he just goes right to Fear, not allowing him to feel comfortable whatsoever on getting some CS. But he's still going to go right in there. Stinger's just going to do his damnedest to keep him back with the Arcane Bolt. I don't know if this is going to be worthy of any sort of early change up here, but even Mystical, stopping him from doing any sort of side pull. He dishes out the Fissure. This could be a bit of a headache here for EG early on, but no, as I say that, they're going to make a move and try to punish Stinger here and set it up already. Just an easy disruption and a Blade Fury to follow. It's going to be PPD with your first blood, and they're not done yet. They continue to tussle here. Owie drops down the Lightning Bolt. Now PPD going to get locked into corner. He goes down there after with the Quills. Owie's still locked in here. Do they know?
I don't think he gets out. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Mystico's going to walk all the way, find him, and we'll see you later, AUI.
All right, well, that is a double kill. Of all the people in this lane, it's Van on the Bristleback who gets both of them. And not today, lead things off 2-1. Already action-packed here for Game 3.
It was a good idea to try to be super aggressive early on, but they just kind of got caught in the bad position. That Fissure, the double Fissure being pretty effective. Van now getting disrupted, TP coming in, Fear, not able to really find anything. And at this point, it's just going to be really hard. This is such a spammable lane if you're not today. The Quill sprays, the Arcane Bolt. Fear's going to take a lot of frass here. He already gets up the stick early on. No surprise there. But you're going to have to do well in the other 2 lanes because I'm not sure how much Fear gets out of this tri-lane versus tri-lane. Although, they're kind of leaving Van alone now. However, they're rotating Mystico back in. Okay, so.
Yeah, he was eyeballing that mid lane a bit. But this means that Sumail on his Storm really needs to get the most out of this mid lane. It's the one lane that they might be able to still have a strong advantage. But as I say that, Smash picks up a DD rune, puts himself back in his spot. He's 4-2 in CS. Sumail well ahead at 10-6, but, you know, Shadow Fiend, he needs to grow first. That's when he can really bring it back as he builds in more and more necromancy and gets more base damage behind him. So he'll work with that for now. Pressure on him though to get to that level 6 and maybe look to get some early pickoffs. Let's look at top lane though, Maut. Universe taking out Ifrit Brood here. Brood is at 15-7. Universe right next to him, 13-0. They're both going to get a lot out of this lane. It's just a matter of who's going to be really utilizing this huge level burst. Universe could just try to get to level 6 and then go on an adventure elsewhere and set things up with his hookshot. I imagine though for Ifrit, he's just going to try to get an early tier 1 tower and plague this top lane.
He's already plaguing Universe. He's blocking him, and he's doing such a good job of harassing him out with the spiders and kind of zoning him out. He's, you know, using control groups, making sure he's microing effectively. And Universe has to pop his salve and a clarity, and he also goes for the double point into the rocket flare. Most commonly, you'll see battery assault maxed first, but in this lane, he realizes that he can't really CS close, otherwise Ifrit's going to destroy him. And the best way to do this is just to throw up your flare and get as much CS as possible and harass as much as possible, but it's not easy. As you see, the clarity was just canceled, and he has to actually just TP. He can't really sit here in the lane anymore. He has to go home, and he's going to have to walk back towards that top lane. This is not an easy lane coming out for the Clockwork.
I mean, it just looks like this audible changeup that NoT Today called here right before the laning phase was to begin. It's working out pretty nice for him, and it's EG who are trying to recover from it here. Bottom lane, Mystical continues to try to contest the pull here on the side, but they continue to keep the pressure right under the tower. Fear has to try to find his CS with this tower, but also keep an eye on them to charge, and yeah, immediate double quill. Fear's got 4 stick charges already, but they have to be watching out. Mystical can land a Fissure like that, and Fear now, very, very low. They're going to make the committed dive onto him. PBD can't quite get close enough. It forces out the Blade Fury spin. It's only going to take another punch and another quill to get him, and they got him. Van now on the early killing spree for his Bristleback. Oh man, they are dominating this bottom lane early on.
Yeah, this is exactly what Bristleback wants, and he's super happy with the way this lane is going. He even goes for the early point in Viscous Nasal Goo to try to find extra ways to initiate and to find kills. And this is just, it's not a great start for Evil Geniuses. They need to not be too scared, though. They should be doing okay later on down the road. You know, if they can just survive this early stage with all this aggression. In fact, there's level 6 Smash going to get jumped on. Requiem getting channeled up. He ball landings away, and he'll go down. AUI getting the kill. Fissure and the silence. Sumail in trouble, about to fall. The last right click. Sumail didn't even have the stick charge to work with. The Skywrath Mage actually gets the kill. It is a middle lane hero for a middle lane hero. Turns out to be okay for NoT Today in the end.
Yeah, if they're able to get a quick return kill, it's not too terrible. And this is EG's best lane to work with right here, this mid lane matchup, where Sumail definitely had the CS advantage, but now with something like that, Smash is going to make his prompt return, and Fear is now currently working with this mid lane. So I wonder if Evil Geniuses are going to look to change things up a bit now that they recognize the trouble that they have been dealing with here in this bottom lane. Van is taking his lane elsewhere, apparently. He just wants to get a hold of this 6-minute rune that is to pop up.
He doesn't care about these creeps. He's just going to cool spray them and kill them quickly and head back to the bottom lane. This is how you know it's a problem for Evil Geniuses. If Fear rotates mid, it means he's not finding farm elsewhere. I mean, he's sending out a Basilius and a Boots, and that's it, and a stick as well. He's having such a rough time. Universe is 20 CS, but then there's 42 for Ifrit. Ifrit is absolutely dominating. Not going for Boots of Speed, going for a very early Orchid as he picks up the Oblivion Staff. They really have to hope Sumail is able to take over this game like he's done in the past, because if he doesn't, I just think that at about the 10 to 15 to 20 minute mark, all of a sudden, NoT Today are going to start running at Evil Geniuses, and it's going to be a major problem. They won't have levels, they won't have farm. Van is going to be pretty farmed at that point. It's going to be tough.
I like the move as well. At first, I'm like, oh, Ifrit's got so much farm. I'm surprised he didn't just go for a Midas, even. Get a little bit extra greedy, but he wants that Orchid. So that Evil Geniuses, if they're banking on a comeback from someone like Sumail and his Storm Spirit, there's going to be an Orchid already waiting for him before he can get one of his own. That could be a very bad surprise for him if he just starts to go off on the rails here. But Smash bullies him back a little bit here. Now he just kind of being there by his side. He's been on stacking duty in a very selfless position for his Zeus, and now give him this big amount of gold to farm up. Gotta be careful though. Got a little life, but Jesus Christ, Storm Spear can farm stacks quick. All right. He's already up to 1K because of it, and now he's at level 8.
He likes to play dangerously, getting super low. Nice ward behind the tower from NoT Today just to get vision. And Fear is going to be easily dove. Misco, actually, do they see him? AUI didn't spot him. He pings him out at the end. PPD saw him a bit late. And he's going to be able to get away. They probably don't know that there's that ward there, but they can Lightning Bolt. They can throw down a Sentry if they need to. This bottom lane, however, is so disastrous right now for Evil Geniuses. Van is getting a Vitality booster already. What should be a Vanguard into an early Crimson Guard for NoT today is going to be coming out pretty early on here. And then you just get run at by that Bristleback.
A little bit of a footsie play here. Stinger's throwing out the casual concussive shot, but they're going to make something happen. That's Sumail teeping into the bottom lane. Disruption. They want to take down the Bristle. Jump on forward. Insta silence, though, onto Sumail. But here's going to be the big spin. Fear, though, could fall forward from all that Quill damage, but he gets a nice Omni follow-up and ends up getting one more life before he does go down. It ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. EG will take what they can get at this point. Overall, a successful first engagement here for Sumail. Obviously, it would have been a lot better if Fear didn't have to go down, but they get it. 2-for-1.
I think he bought beforehand. He got his phase boots. And any fight that Fear gets a double kill or a situation where he can at least get 2 heroes and then back away is definitely worth it. And, I mean, that's so big for him. He needs that desperately. He needs much more than that as well. So it's a good start and a really good rotation from Sumail. You mentioned it was the first initiation for Sumail. He's going to back away. He's his early staff of Wizardry, in fact. And he also has his Null Tally as well ready to go. But for now, it's really just Universe is staying top. He's being shadowed by these Spiderlings, so if he leaves the lane, they'll know. They'll know he's looking or setting up for a hook shot. And Ifrit, as much as happening is bottom and mid as well for Smash and Van, Ifrit's getting free farm top. It's really just not even an issue for him whatsoever.
Yeah, both Universe and Ifrit have not really participated in the rest of the game. And between these two, yeah, obviously Ifrit is getting the most, but they try to get him here. There's going to be a dust pop. They get the Vortex pull. And they get it. All right, we make the call out, or at least EG fans all around make the call out. They want Sumail to help to bring this game back. And, well, he gets a nice grab right there, taking down Ifrit, who'd pretty much had his way. And all these freaking spiders. Always just trying to be the exterminator here and get rid of them. But all right, so another good pick for him. EG do manage to even things up now, 5-5. Your net worth advantage is still pretty heavy in favor for NoT today at this early into the game. 10 minutes in, 4K. Not too shabby. XP, not as drastic. A little more close. But at this point, the laning phase begins to kind of dissolve a bit as that tier 1 bottom lane had been brought down. We'll see what kind of movement we can see from NoT today to change things up a bit. You're obviously going to have to give this Earthshaker a little bit more time to farm up himself, get to his level 6, at least get any arcanes or the early boost towards a Blink Dagger. And it looks like Van's going to head towards mid lane. Maybe they have eyes for the tier 1 here.
And they're going to just methodically take down each tier 1 by one. And it's a lot harder to fight if you're not really set up with Sumail beforehand and you have like 3 heroes mid for NoT today. They're kind of ready to get initiated on. They're going to back up for the time being. They're just playing 3-man Dota. Misco is bottom. He's looking to, like you said, get a little bit more farm, set himself up. Universe is going to be here in this middle lane. He can hook. It's going to be tough, though. He's just going to walk right in. They're going to find a hook shot here. Universe looking to jump in, perhaps. They're going to cogs up. Battery Assault. Van's going to get caught out. Ancient Seal goes through. Omni Slash going to fly. Not nearly enough damage. Van's able to stick up. Lightning Bolt. Demonic Purge going as well. The Flare not going to bring him down. He's got 2 stacks of the poison. The Ball Lightning long range isn't enough. The Echo comes out. Van is still going to fall. Sumail across the map he goes. And he's looking for more, but he's going to get silenced up. He's in trouble at Chant Totem. And the Requiem blows him up. Fear looking to turn in. Gets a big Blade Fury. Can he get Smash? He needs a crit. He's not going to find it. Smash going to get double killed. Turns into a 2-for-1 somehow. And AUI, not level 6, not able to Zeus ult, which would have provided that kill. Would have been huge.
Oh, man. That looked very promising there. Sumail made a long committed jump, which left him with very little mana. And Fear was trying to be there to kind of bail him out and back him up. Almost gets the kill, but they end up giving Smash a double because of it. And look what's been happening here in the top lane. Ifrit has been thriving. Because you got to remember, NoT today pretty much playing this one out. 4v5 in these kind of team engagements. This Brood just trying to do her job. And EG, they're going to have their hands full with it. That was Universe also making his first debut into a team fight. Not the dramatic long hookshot setup we were asking for. I guess that's more props to someone like Van on his Bristleback to kind of be the enforcer, be out in those front lines and prevent them from getting anything. All the meanwhile, Stinger going to get taken down on the side here from Sumail.
That is a Yule Scepter on Sumail, and he's going to walk right by this Roshan. Not even going to check. It's probably better if he didn't. He might have gotten blown up had that been the case. They actually don't have a way to lock him down. There's no Yule Scepter. They had killed the Skyrath to make sure it wasn't getting silenced up. But there's no way they can scout out this Roshan. Maybe PPD throws up a poison, but it's probably too late. I don't think Sumail's going to ball landing all the way over there. That's going to be Aegis going to the Bristleback. And this is not today. They have to play this way. They have to play this kind of aggressive style because you have a Bristleback. You want to get a lead. You want to snowball. You want to take down these towers. And look how much space they've created. We already talked about it for Ifrit. He has his Orchid. He actually got it at 12 minutes. There's still a long way for Evil Geniuses to go to get back into this one. They're down 5,000 net worth already at 13 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and on the other side of the argument with getting the quick Orchid, it's like, oh, it's great when you're going to get someone like a Storm Spear or anyone that you're going to try to get a quick pick off. But, you know, he's not one to be big on the team fight here early on. So Necrobook usually is like one of the other options. If you're really going to be committed to the side pushing, we'll see if it's something he does decide to follow up with. For now, though, Sumail, Invis, eyeballing up that mid lane. Doesn't see any opportunity. He's going to go back and work with this big juicy stack now, as he already has a Yules, probably specifically to counter back that silence that the Brood does have. Yeah. So it's one of those items, though, that as a Storm Spirit, you don't want to have to get, but sometimes you gotta. And uh-oh, zips back over, up and about. He's making my life difficult here trying to catch up with him, but he is able to slip away from that Bristleback. Yeah,
the Yule Scepter's double prong weapon here, as it not only allows you to stay alive during a silence, it allows you to maybe throw somebody up in the air that you don't want to have to deal with, or even just get the mana regeneration, which is pretty big early on. So Yules is good. He doesn't want to go for the BKB early because that seems like a waste. Although bottom lane Fisher, PPD gonna get caught out. Looks like he'll die. Nice disruption, but I don't really see him surviving this. They're even gonna echo for PPD, so he'll get brought down.
Echo down, I guess, if you're PPD, but not today. Get another kill for themselves. Now take the kill lead here at 8-7. They still have to get some extra bit of use out of this Aegis if they want. Maybe looking to pressure some tier 2s here. But, you know, EG, it's difficult. I mean, for what feels like 90% of the time, Universe has been, you know, given this job to kind of just watch out on this top lane or just continue to farm up there. Looks like he's going to be going for a Blade Mail. He's about 100 gold away from it. But I don't see that as being enough to kind of get this game really turned around. That pressure's still on Sumail and his Storm Spirit at this point to kind of really be the one to snowball. And that way Fear can find his own way to build up some farm and take it later into the game.
Fear is desperately trying to find anything. He's 52 CS at 15 minutes into the game. And that's not necessarily a fault of his own. That's just because he had to deal with that ridiculous aggressive tri lane. But not today, playing it perfectly. The only thing they could do a bit better is just not get picked off by Storm Spirit. Easier said than done, especially for a Sumail Storm Spirit. They will, however, continue to knock down objectives. They force their way onto the tier 2 tower, and they're looking like they want to bring this one down in the middle lane.
They're here, but they're not looking to get too aggressive. Just an easy clear of the wave after a couple of raises. And then they opt to pull back. Very tense here. All right, Owie. Okay, puts out the ultimate, and they do the smoke. So, EG, they probably recognize this. Not today. No, they recognize this. They don't care about the smoke. They just shed that off, and they continue to pressure down the mid lane.
Bottom lane tier 1 tower was deniable for a long period of time, but Fear is able to take it. So a bit of extra gold. Disruption coming out onto Van. Still has the Aegis now with the Crimson Guard as well. Top lane, Sumail is going to take off that Orchid. He's going to Yules himself, and he's going to continue to look for this Broodmother. He'll find the Brood, but he's just trying to take down some of these Broodlegs to get some extra gold.
Not enough mana to really make the long committed jump, and doesn't want to be chasing too far away from home because they're still being pressured here in the mid lane. It looks like they're potentially here to sack this tier 2. The Glyph will come out. Not today, do step back, but I don't see any potential engagement here from the side of EG. Sumail is able to build up some mana. There's another Orchid. There's another Yules. But look who's ready for another silence. It's going to be Stinger. Sumail's in trouble. He goes down. Nuke bomb right there at the end. It is going to be Skyrath who does get the kill. But that is your Storm Spirit down. 50 seconds. Does have buyback. But not today. Begin to clinch even further forward as now they're going to look to claim another tier 2. This one now on the top lane. Evil Geniuses finally just got their first tower on the other side. Hook shot from Universe, not gonna catch.
I think he had just had vision and smash, walked out of the range, and Universe not able to connect. That would have been a huge pickup. Because he doesn't have BKB, and I think, you know, with Zeus ult, they can get that kill solo. They really need Sumail back up. This tier 2 tower about to fall. There's only one tier 2 left down bottom if this is to go down, and that seems to be the case. Yasha for Fear, not even going for the Mask of Madness, realizing that he needs just some decent right clicks and mobility as well. Mask of Madness would provide that, but it's also a bit dangerous at this point in time, especially when you're behind. So he goes for the Yasha, maybe gets a Manta style to avoid some of the silences, which, by the way, that's the problem when you have this Yule scepter. You can only use it once. You get silenced with an Orchid, you get Yules'd up, and then all of a sudden the Ancient Seal comes out with the Mystic Flare right on top, and Sumail just couldn't get out in time with the Ball Lightning. It just wasn't there. So this is such a difficult game. Not today. In a commanding lead, can they hold on? They're up to 7,500 net worth lead. They just need to get a couple of racks, and at that point, they'll probably be able to take this game. It's so difficult, though, for both squads.
Dota hat betters out there foaming at the mouth. As this was a 92-8. What could be a huge, huge upset. We're not going to be calling it yet. 7-9, obviously tower advantage for Not Today, who have about a 7,500 or so gold lead. XP just a little under that. Now comes the smoke from EG here. Sumail and PPD looking to get something set up. They dropped the ward. They see Van, who's also going to get scouted from the rocket. PPD going to use the smoke, it looks like, to block out the Ancient Camp. No, not the target they really want to make a jump on here. Crimson Guard complete and an Ogre Club. This Bristle is pretty freaking tough. Oh, they're going to go for it, though. They're going to go for it. Committed dive. Crimson pop. Look at the TPs fly out versus Mysticow. Nice disruption from PPD. Stops him from getting the stun off. And Not Today rotate the whole team over, it feels like, with the exception of Ifrit. And, well, there's going to be no blood drawn from either side. But, hey, space created, I guess. Look at mid lane. Fear's able to chop away now at this tier 1. Top lane, not so well for EG. It's still Ifrit doing brood things, pushing down from the north.
He's got to be careful, though. He's got all of his Spiderlings there, and if he were to go down, that's a significant chunk of gold going in the way of Evil Geniuses. But you're right. That is pretty much space created. The fact that Fear was able to push out that far, you know, gives him so much room to work with. He is going to pick up the Mask of Madness, or at least he's going to have the Morbid Mask for now. Yeah, there it is. The Mask of Madness now coming up for Fear. So got the Yasha first, now has the Mom. He's feeling a bit more confident. But still, there's so much vision for Not Today. They have so much in map control. And all they really need to do is continue to methodically push down these towers. They can wait for Roshan as well. Evil Geniuses won't be in a position to fight for a long time. And now Sumail, who is at the top of the net worth lead, is now gone down to the 3rd place position. Fear will take down a tier 1 tower. All of this gold from Not Today coming in solely because of the towers that they've acquired over the course of this game. And at 20 minutes into the game, they're still looking for this last tier 2, and they will find it. That's it. Now that all that's left is the tier 3 in the high ground.
This is crazy. Oh, top lane. Could have Yules'd off the Orchid. Doesn't feel necessary here. Ifrit just kind of poking at him a little bit. But this top tier 1 taking its first little bits of damage finally for EG. They now control the majority of this map. Not Today can farm on through and just continue to build up an economy base that's much bigger and greater than EG. Do like this move from Fear. One of the few safe places is, well, right behind your enemy's back, as he will just farm through the Not Today jungle. He's doing a bit risky here, as he does not have a TP on hand if he is spotted out, which could happen. Smash is coming. Fear. Mask of Madness walks over. Well, they ping there.
They knew the creep camp was gone, so that it didn't spawn up. It was at like the 2010 mark or 2110 mark, and so they knew that somebody was in their jungle. But yeah, no, you're right. This is a play you have to make for Evil Geniuses. Like, you have to make this type of risk and go out and farm, because you're not going to find farm in your own jungle, and if you do, then you're just going to die promptly afterwards if you're not careful. So now Evil Geniuses will try to take back their jungle. They'll scout out a quick observer ward, and they'll proceed to just walk down. Misco, no Blink Dagger, but he does have Fissure. He's ready to go if necessary. But I don't think he could kill Universe. Maybe he can with a Fissure.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the Zeus ult.
We see
ya.
Universe jumps in. Where are you hiding? That's going to be a quick and easy kill. Very convenient right there for Owie, unleashing the Thunder God's wrath. And they're able to get a quick, easy pick there on your Earthshaker. Not the most devastating thing ever for Not Today. They just lose their support who had been kind of just leeching some solo XP. But Evil Geniuses are happy to take whatever kill they can get at this point.
You never know what kill is going to get you back in the game. And that might be enough to stop him from getting a Blink Dagger. Maybe get a bit more for Universe towards that Blade Mail and Force Staff, which is now completed. Sumail up to almost 16. A Bloodstone done. It's actually, I believe, flying out to him now as he already has the Soul Ring. So there it is. Some extra mana regeneration to work with. He can play a bit aggressively. And this is going to be the key timing for Evil Geniuses, because next up is going to be Roshan for Not Today. When they get Rosh, if they get Rosh, do they decide to push down? Do they decide to go for the racks? And if so, how do you defend this if you're Evil Geniuses? And one way is just to be able to jump in and out of the Storm Spirit. And as Sumail has often done, create so much space for his team. Will it be enough?
The scary thing also for EG is that on the Not Today side, Ifrit's got a full 10-second BKB, and so does Smash. So as they now look to go out, try to bring this game back, Not Today could be itemized and prepared. It's all coming down to a nice, quick pick here. But look who's also just on the other side of the river. All conveniently nice and tidy and close. This is going to be a hard shell to crack. They just both know that Rosh is up. This is where things can get very, very tense. EG can't afford to just allow them to get what they want. It is going to be scouted out with the rocket. They know this is happening. Are we going to see a Grand Theft Aegis here from Sumail? He's got to be careful. He jumps in. He gets silenced. It's not going to be easy to get out. He's going for it. Jump in. He got it. He got it. Self-Yules now. Can he make it out? Oh, there's going to be the fissure. He does go down. That's going to be the Aegis life. Could be mission accomplished. Can he make it away? Hook shot from Universe creates the space necessary. They double back and then go on home. They get a two-man drop. Evil Genius is looking to take the game right back, and they drop 3. Huge setup there. Universe with a good follow-up. Now he's going to get dunked on. Mr. Cow. Oh, ball lightning right on through. They're going to get them all. Smash goes down. EG just wiped Not Today. Oh, my God. If you don't like that, you don't like digital sports. I can't believe it.
Digital sports. Sumail gets not only the Aegis, but the Rosh kill as well. Such a big boon for his team. Universe nearby hooks it to save Sumail. They thought they were going to get it for sure on that second life, but not so. Fear, in the meantime, pushes down, takes a tier 2 tower. They kill every hero without their Juggernaut. Some amazing play. Sahil O'Neal pops the freaking Blade Mail before getting Echo Slammed, and they're going to take a Rax. They're going to take at least this range Rax, maybe more. Not today. It's all crumbling. What happened? They will not get the melee Rags, but look at this.
Oh, Fissure catches Fear. Got to get the hell away. Sumail, though, he's happy to make the jump on the Mystic Cow. Could take him down, get silenced. Mystic Flare, but he does pull the Yules. The Orchid will be there to follow up. It looks like Sumail could be going down here. Has the wand. Not even going to use it. Just... Oh, he couldn't even end his own life. The Suicide not going to be there either. Broodmother gets that kill. Big pickup for him, but it's a very low death timer there for Sumail just because of that chaos that broke out by the Rosh Pit. Still unbelievable. How the hell did we go from EG being way behind, no outer tower whatsoever, trying to maybe go for a Hail Mary of a comeback play? They get it, and now they're the ones who take a Rax. I can't believe it.
Now look at that net worth graph, man.
Woo!
It's up there. It's a bit of a spike, if you will, a bit of a mountain to climb.
Just a little one.
Jesus, that's ridiculous to me. That kill on Sumail is pretty big, though. He didn't get the deny off, and I think he wasn't... The Soulbird damage actually came through, and he looked like he was about to use it, but just couldn't get it off in time. It's not the worst thing, but he's back down to 8 charges, so he does have to be a bit more careful here. Still, though, they get the range Rax mid. If they can finish off that melee Rax, they're in such a good spot. Not that they have this lineup where they like want to run at you, and they want to play 4 versus 5, and that just... I don't know what happened in that Rosh Pit that went so awry. It was a number of things. It's ridiculous, man.
The Universe with that follow-up play just was there to lock them in their place, allow Sumail to make a quick and safe escape, and then they were able to easily re-engage, and they just really took advantage of Not Today in that congested spot where they could really dish out so much burst damage. I mean, it's everything. You got the Purge, you got all the Poison Wave to be flying out, every bit of burst that Storm Spirit's putting out there, and of course your Omni Slash, and Owie and his burst. It's everything coming together beautifully. When the stars align, you get something like that, and it just works out for EG so well. I can't believe it. Now here we are. Not today. They gotta shake this one off. This game was theirs for the longest time. It felt like they were just on the warpath to pull out one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen. And EG just showing how experienced they are. They just bring it right back. Unbelievable.
27 minutes into the game, and what was once a almost 10,000, well, 7,500 net worth lead is now gone. It's dissipated. It is in the dust, and Evil Geniuses have the lead. In fact, not only do they have the lead in net worth, they have the lead by about 2,500 in net worth and almost 7,500 in experience. They can take chances. They can actually move outside of their base, whereas the map control was not there just a couple of minutes ago. And now the way to solve a lot of the problems has presented itself. Both Sumail, Fear getting farmed. He has his Manta style. He's got 4K in net worth. AUI, you already mentioned, has done a lot of burst damage. He even has a Veil, for God's sakes. The vision they got in the Roche Pit, the Shadow Poison followed up by the Flare, was more than enough that they needed to get vision, take down Roche, to be able to also jump in and get those kills as well. So for now, what do you do if you're not today? I don't know if you can sit back and farm anymore, but at the same time, can you really fight into this? You do have the BKBs. You don't want to use the willy-nilly. Maybe you wait for a Blink Dagger and Misco, but that seems like it might be a while away. You look at his gold, he's been at 1,200 for a while now. He hasn't gotten to his Blink Dagger still at 28 minutes into the game. We'll see what they want to go for not today. Ifrit has his Blink Dagger, he's got his BKB. I don't think they defend this tier 1. They let it go. They just farm elsewhere and go from there.
They have yet to even take this tier 1 top lane. They just finished taking Rax mid, and they got to go back to the basics here for the top. But they'll get it. No surprise that not today, not looking to defend this, as they just look to kind of recuperate from their losses before, bring together some farm, and maybe consider preparing a defense. Now here comes EG. They're going to look to take even more here. Tier 2 is going to be going down here in just a moment. Not today. Probably going to be waiting it out until they can get back to the high ground, and this becomes that scary period for Not Today where your Broodmother begins to just slowly fall off a bit, because she's not one to really thrive in these 5-on-5 engagements.
Oh yeah, I mean, the game goes long enough and Broodmother doesn't become useless, but it's really hard for her to fight. Like, no boots, look how slow she is, walking without a web anywhere. She's crawling slowly back to the base. Also, not defending that tier 2 tower, Not Today didn't have Shadow Fiend TP scroll, so I think that was one of the reasons why they said we're not defending this. But again, a lot of that gold that Evil Geniuses was down was from the towers that were taken from Not Today. And now they're back up. That's a testament to the fact that they stayed almost even when they had a fewer amount of towers. And they continue to just take objectives, they continue to push out the lanes, and they have so much more room to work with. They were getting choked to death before that Roshan. Now they're out in front for the most part.
Here we are. Doesn't feel like just 13-10, but it's Evil Geniuses well up. And if you're just tuning in, you've been missing out on one hell of a series already. Last game, big plays coming out from Smash to tie up the series 1-1. And for a game 3, which looked like it was going to be Not Today from top to bottom, with a huge spider in that top lane. Ifrit had just got so much going for him. And then with one quick Roche fight, it's EG who kind of take the game right back.
Fear as a Scotty. Dear Lord. I just don't know where this farmer's coming from. He finally gets enough room, and suddenly there's a Scotty. So, all right, well.
Taking a big Roche fight, taking a Rax, and 2 towers at top lane, I think could help that a little bit. Yeah, I agree with you. It just goes from Fear being like, he was 5th in net worth or so, way behind at 50 CS, and it was just like he needed to get on the recovery path. Well, he is quickly doing so. He is now 2nd in net worth, just behind Sumail, who's claimed the top at 17K. He's got his Shivas now, and EG very comfortable at this point. Even PPD able to kind of get a bit more from all the tower takedowns. He's got his own Force Staff. We look over at Universe. He's got a Ghost Scepter, his own bit of Force Staff. Owie, Veil. Serious magic damage here. Really looking to test Not Today with their BKBs.
This is still not easy for Evil Geniuses. Not Today have to go through a Bristleback. They have to go through the SF with a BKB, and almost, I would imagine, a Scotty. Nothing else on the Courier, but he's getting close. They smoke up from Not Today. Are they going to try to find a pickoff? Speaking of smokes, Evil Geniuses do the same. They're running down bottom. Not Today move towards mid. There's no vision here for Evil Geniuses to scout this out. However, a Zeusult could come through to get some vision, maybe some detection as well as if needed. But they're going to try to make a jump here. Zeusult's going to fly. Van's going to get caught out. Flare, Universe finds the hook. Stinger now. That's going to be the object they're going for. They're going to pick him off easily. Omni Slash. They're going to get Van as well. It pops the Crimson Guard. He's taking so much damage. That's not a Bristleback. He's freaking dead. Ifrit get a Demonic Purge. His BKB now gone. Smash going to BKB as well. Fear going to work. Requiem does nothing in terms of damage to Fear. Meanwhile, Sumail top lane destroys that Earthshaker, and they might have just punched their ticket to the summit in Los Angeles. Can they take this Rex? Can they take this game? Not today. Have a buyback of the Bristleback, Dakota. It's not looking good.
No, it is not. Smash just had to witness his team fall. He unleashed his Requiem, and it just was pillows. He threw up pillows, for God's sakes. Evil Geniuses just kind of shrugged that one off. They charge forward. They get the second Rex. Now they have their eyes on the bottom lane. And I don't even think Not Today have recovered from the Roche fight yet. How the hell did we get to here? Evil Geniuses now taking the second set of racks. And on the back of Sumail and the big Aegis Steel and the follow-up from Universe, just the tenacity. Unbelievable. 2 racks now down. Evil Geniuses, they make their fans very nervous here. But now they got to be feeling a lot more comfortable. Not today. They're going to be tested once more just in like game number 1. On trying to pull out one hell of a defense to bring this back. But with the lineup they have, they were expecting to be the ones on the assault. And they were. They were. For the longest time. But now here they are. Down 2 sets. Evil Geniuses. They're doing it, man.
For Not Today, they've got to be feeling a bit unfortunate. Demoralized might be the term I would use. But they have to kind of rein it in. They haven't... They didn't buy back with Van. I'm surprised they kind of just let that Rax bottom go, but I think they have to just gather themselves for the next push up to the high ground, whether that's at the tier 3 top or whether just for the tier 4s in general. It's going to be so hard. Their itemization now falling pretty far behind. Fear getting scouted by the Broodmother. If they could get that kill, it'd be a pretty big pickup. Smash is actually going to pick up a Sight of the Vise, which I think is a pretty good option this game. They have to lock down the Storm Spirit, who doesn't have a BKB still, and that's one way to do it. In fact, Assault Kuras purchased up for Storm Spirit. He has Assault and Shiva's Guard. He has 41 armor for Rabbit, for Sumail. It's something else.
Yeah, oh, you got that nice little passive right there, Shadow Fiend. You got that goo. You got all that minus armor. Does not matter. Sumail is pretty frickin' durable at this point. Currently holding the DD rune. Looks like they want to head towards the bottom. Something potentially separating them from closing this game out is that Aegis here. It will be scouted here, and they'll start to go to work on it. Not today. Can they pull out an EG and try to bring the game back, contesting this Roche?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. They're not even near the area. They're not even putting out the motions, the gestures that they're going for it. They get scouted out. It's a quick Aegis in the pocket of Fear. And speaking of ACs, it's going to be Ifrit who picks up one on the Brood Mama here. Buying out as well. So not today.
One of those situations that you need to have everything ready to go for, otherwise the defense isn't going to work. It's just they're going all in.
Evil Geniuses.
They only have a buyback on Bristleback, by the way. That's the only one they have.
Yep, you're right. Maybe have the Bristle go out in front, try to take the initial punishment from EG. Expect to be buying back thereafter. Here comes EG now. Looking to close this one out. Sumail with cheese also. Could make the committed jump here. Try to bait out something from Not Today. I mean, as expected, Bristle's going to be way out here, but look at the positioning for everyone else. They are way behind. Smash maybe not looking to kind of give them the idea that he has the sheep stick. I mean, will now. As they just try to slowly stop the EG siege here. The last set of racks that separates them from the mega creeps and potentially a spot to land.
And Sumail's just going to continue to push out. He's just going to split push mid at bottom, and Ifrit has to deal with this. He's been put on Sumail duty at this point. And Sumail does not have a gem. He doesn't have detection. He's just kind of walking in. Oh, God. Echo Slam's going to go. Can they find this kill? He has cheese. He's going to get Orchid, and he's going to use himself quickly. They can Ancient Seal, and Mystic Flare is going to go. He does get silenced up. That's a big kill. He's down for 48. Meanwhile, top lane, they don't take the tier 3. They don't take any damage. Their Fear gets hexed up. They're on the chase. But now EG back up.
All right, little force save there from Owie, but not today. Recognize EG, down a man. Consider moving on forward here. Van leading out the charge. Nice cool quick pick for him. So with that Bloodstone, he'll be back in just a moment. 25 seconds. It gives Not Today a little bit more time. As I hear more buildings crumble here. Looks like a whole bottom side of their base being cleared out. All those little buffers gotta go. But they have to find a way to kind of get themselves outside the baselines and find a way to really open up onto EG. It's not going to be easy, though. Sumail's already back. And he buys Boots of Travel just so he can get to the party a bit sooner.
Yeah, that's the Bloodstone. Although he's down to 6 charges, I don't know if he minds that much. They're pretty far ahead at this point. But one bad fight and all of a sudden, Not Today might have something to work with, but it's going to be tough. The Shadow Poison stacks are just going to do work, and I think that it's already done work this game. He maxed it out unsurprisingly. It's such a good ability, but they won't be able to blink it either because the Shadow Poison stacks continue being a problem. They're even going to disrupt. They're going to get 3 stacks on a van. The hookshot coming in. This might be the fight. Ifrit pops the BKB, the Crimson Guard. They blow up. That is a tanky Bristleback, but not anymore. Smash now getting Omni Slash. Fear blows up one, about to blow up another. They're just blowing through the Shadow Fiend right now. Sumail going in deep. Misco gonna try to TP home. Nowhere is safe. Not from Sumail. Fear gets the double kill. The buyback from Smash. He's gonna have to try something, but at this point, it's all but over. Smash getting pulled in. It's gonna be a dieback. Smash is free pass for not this game. He's gonna fall. Fear with the triple kill. Evil Geniuses. Oh, that last Roach fight. It wasn't enough. The tier 4 towers, Dakota, they're gone. And this is going to be Evil Geniuses moving on. Not today. They'll go down to the loser's bracket.
Can't help but give props, first and foremost, to Not Today. They put up one hell of a fight to EG, and what many expected would be just another EG 2-0 stomp. They forced EG into a Game 3, and what was a very scary first half of Game 3 if you're an EG fan, but it's Evil Geniuses after all. Your DAC champions, what many consider one of the best, if not the best Dota teams right now on the planet. And plays like that just kind of justify it. And it's unbelievable. And with that, Evil Geniuses, they'll be here at the Summit House competing on site at LAN, trying to get back their title from the Summit 1 from VG Gaming. For Not Today, the road isn't over yet. They're going to be pushed down the lower bracket, and they are going to be facing Complexity, who did just best Leviathan earlier today. Unbelievable stuff, Maut. What a day of Dota. Any last thoughts that you could somehow throw together after that series?
I think that series was a bit closer than people were anticipating, but Evil Geniuses will take the victory. They'll move on to the Summit. Really well played from both teams. Not Today impressed me a hell of a lot. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take this victory. They have tomorrow to work with. I won't be around, but I'm looking forward to watching. If possible. And again, thank you for having me, Dakota, as always.
Absolutely. If you guys want to show Maut some love, hit him up on his Twitter at MautDota, myself at KotLGuy. We're beyond the Summit, bringing you the English coverage here for the Summit 3. You can do us a favor, hit us up, hit the follow button right below. If you're feeling extra generous, you can always subscribe. All the VODs of today's matches are going to be uploaded right after this on the Beyond the Summit YouTube. You can check out all of the action there, but it was a pleasure as always. Tomorrow, we'll find out which of those 2 American teams between Not Today and Complexity are going to get the 2nd spot for the Summit 3. That's going to be happening later. Folks, we got more Dota action to come. It's a pleasure as always. See you next time.